In the fitness world, if there's one thing that people are constantly striving for, it's the six-pack. People are going to all kinds of lengths and using a variety of different equipment in order to get them there. What I want to talk about today are some of those things that may or may not help us attain our goal of good, strong abs. In this video, I'd like to talk about 5 different products that I have in my own home gym, and I want to rate them for you. And the things that I'm going to consider are their effectiveness, their value for money, their versatility, the ease of their use, and their space constraints. Even though I have a fairly good size home gym, believe me, I'm at the point that when I bring something home, it has to be good value for the space because I'm running out of room. What I'm going to be rating today are the Swiss ball. I've got 2 different sizes of Swiss ball. I have the half ball, or the Bosu ball as some people call it, or the half balance ball. I've got sliders, I've got an ab roller, and I've got the Ab Master. So let's see what we're going to use, how we're going to rate them, and maybe something that you should buy or take a pass. The Swiss ball, some people call it the yoga ball. This is a mainstay in probably every gym that you go to, and the versatility in the number of exercises that you can do is really vast. So let's talk about abs because that's what we're talking about mainly today. And of course, we're going to roll out and certainly just do our regular crunches, and also offering us more stability than if we're just lying on the floor. Then we can plank with the ball and do tuck-ins. Using it this way, we're getting our obliques. Then we can start looking at other kinds of things that we can add. Leg curls, balanced bicep curls. You can see how versatile this ball can be. Now, what about the downfalls? It's pretty big. It really is. And you're not going to be deflating it all the time. So you've got to have some room. They do come in different sizes. And depending upon what you're going to use them for, you may be able to go to a smaller size. A lot of people also like to sit on them at their desk. It engages your core while you're sitting. However, for me, it really doesn't work very well. I like to have a little bit more back support. All in all, based on the constraints that I pointed out at the beginning, I give this Swiss ball about a 4 out of a 5. And if you have the room, it's certainly something that you might want to add to your gym. The half balance ball is especially good for beginners because you have the added stability of the flat bottom. So whereas you're not going to be able to do this on the full ball, these are the kinds of things that the half ball allows. You can use the half ball with the rounded side up, doing crunches, etc. And you can also turn it over so that you can do balanced plank work with stability. You can do plank jacks. You can do a lot of different things both ways. What adds to the versatility of this particular half balance ball is the addition of the side weights. So you can adjust these, but you can do bicep curls, you can do shoulder presses, you can do a variety of different, things, and that adds to the versatility. As far as portability, that's probably a 0. Space constraints, it is pretty big. So, but it is versatile. And I love that. And it's not really very expensive. For the size, I mean, it's less than $100. And really, I think kind of very much worth it. If I only had space for the half balance ball versus the full one, I think I might be tempted to take the half one because I do feel that there is that added versatility. As much as we can do our abs on this one, there is a whole lot more. Scoring wise, the half balance ball, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Really well worth the investment. Infomercials abound for different ab exercises, all promising the best abs in the littlest amount of time. Even this one, and this is an oldie, this Ab Master, get a flat, firm, flat stomach in just minutes a day. Well, it might be more than just minutes, a few minutes. And this was hugely popular when I was a young woman, and this is a vintage version, but they're still readily available and they are being snapped up. In fact, when I looked at Amazon, there were over 4,000 of these purchased apparently this month. All right, so with this ab roller, as I'm going to call it, the versatility is pretty minimal. Basically just for abs, and really there's only about 4 or 5 different moves that are feasible. That is your regular crunch, then your knees to your chest with your bum off a bit, oblique crunch, and a double crunch. So there's not a whole lot that you can do with it, and it does take up a lot of room. Where I do like this is possibly for a beginner, it does offer a lot more neck support. So if you're straining with your neck, this does offer you some good support there. And the other thing is, if you enjoy it and it's going to make you do more ab exercising, well then that's a good thing. But if you're already working out and you have limited space, I don't know if this is the piece of equipment for you. I think I've just kept it because I've probably had it for about 35 years and I don't want to throw it out. But price-wise, again, not too bad, probably around the $50 mark. But overall, you know what, really? 2.5 based on the criteria that I've put out there. Okay, the ab wheel. Looks like a pretty innocent little small thing, but beware, this is not for a beginner. It is very, very effective and a wonderful, wonderful piece of equipment, but beware because there is a very strong possibility of injury if you do not use it properly. The overarching of the back can cause some lower back issues, and if you do already have lower back issues, then I would really suggest you might want to avoid this particular piece of equipment. The biggest downfall is that people are using it incorrectly, and most people are just thinking that the idea is to roll out as far as you can and then roll back in. But that's not the point. You really need to brace your core effectively, and it's often suggested that you do this in stages. And I'm going to show you the first stage that they suggest if you have an incline bench. At a 30% incline, brace your core, stand up straight into a plank type position, and bend over with the roller and be very conscious of engaging your abs. Don't overextend. This piece of equipment not only does your abs, your full core, obliques, sides, everything, including your back and a good hit on your shoulders as well. Once you've mastered that, you can move on to the floor. You must also be very cognizant about your knees here. This is far too difficult and too hard for me, and I'm already suffering with a knee injury. So watch your knees, and we suggest now putting a weight so that you're not going to be able to overextend. That way you're still using the weight to stop you. You're keeping everything engaged in one line. You have to be careful about the back. Portability, value, effectiveness, all top marks. I would definitely, for an intermediate to advanced person, suggest this, being very, very careful. I'd say a 4.5 out of 5. Really a good product. Looking for cheap, versatile, and effective? Let's take a look at these sliders. I love these. Let's get down on the floor and check them out. So, from mountain climbers, tuck-ins, pike-ups. Oh, I'm kind of out of room here, but you can go. effective, packable. Let me tell you, packable. These are amazing, really inexpensive, so effective. I'm giving these top marks. These are honestly a 5 out of 5, and you really should have a set of these with your workout routine. Whatever you decide to use, or whether you just go with crunches, that's fine too. All of these things have a place. Probably the least effective that we talked about today is that ab roller. My vintage ab roller isn't really doing a whole lot for you. All of the other things certainly can have a great spot in your gym. And you know, I think a few of them are a no-brainer. Like really, those sliders are like, just buy them. The ab roller, be careful. The balls, very, very good if you have the room for them. You know what? Bottom line, have fun. Whatever you're doing, as long as you're doing something, that's the most important. For me, I just like to add these things for variety because, you know, sometimes we just get bored doing the same thing over and over again. If you have any trouble finding any of the products locally, check out the link in the description. I have the Amazon.com and the Amazon.ca. All of the products are available there. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with just a little variety, changing things up. You're still working the same muscles, maybe just in a different way, and that's good too. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I hope that you and your abs come and see me in the next one.